Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Mike Green with Keller Williams in Bryan College Station. We're doing our business spotlight this week, and we're lucky enough to have Andrew Ball, who's Director of Real Estate with Oakmont Subdivisions. Again, we're kind of focusing on subdivisions this month because there's an abundance of new subdivisions which have opened in the last 2 to 3 years, and I honestly don't think a lot of people know about the quality of subdivisions and properties that are available to us in this area. And one of them is clearly Oakmont Subdivision. It's part of Adam Development, which many of you have heard of. So, Mr. Andrew, tell us about yourself and a little bit about your development.
Yeah, we're excited about Oakmont. We've been on the ground here with builders building homes for about a year. The lead time takes about 2 years to get that first lot on the ground. It's probably the hardest part of the development business. But we released 120 lots about May or June of last year. We have almost homes built on every one of them. I think with the last handful of lots in our first phase are about to start. And currently we have under construction about a little short of 200 more lots that will kind of start almost rounding out Oakmont. It'll complete us all the way into Copperfield. Location-wise, if you go out University to the east, University was expanded 2 years ago. The city of Bryan really sees the east side of Bryan being the next big expansion of Bryan College Station. And we are lucky enough to be centrally located right there off the expansion of University. The other entrance into Oakmont, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Christopher's. Pendleton Road was expanded, and Christopher's sits on the edge of about 40 acres of mixed-use development that we'll do probably sometime towards the end of phase 2.
Yeah, tell us a little about the amenities. How are you guys different than some of the other subdivisions that are out there?
Well, I think what we did was another developer had kind of talked to myself and I'd learned from, had kind of said, hey, what you need to do is figure out why people are moving to town and then build a subdivision that exemplifies those reasons. And so, one of the major reasons people move to this town is lower cost of living versus the major metropolitan areas. So we knew we had to deliver home sites and then eventual homes that match that. We also, traffic, being centrally located, even though I think you can probably get everywhere in this town in 15 to 20 minutes, which to a Houston buyer seems, they can barely get out of their neighborhood and to the grocery store. But really, we tell clients all the time, mark down on a map everywhere you go in Bryan College Station, and then pick somewhere right dead smack in the middle. So of all that. So if you're taking your kids to school, obviously, you're going there 10 times a week. Being close to an elementary school or middle school or high school is important. The grocery store is important. I always find it funny in this town that everyone always talks about how close they are to Kyle Field. A place you go 7 times a year, 6 times a year. I think it's probably, equally, or if not more important to be close to all those places you go, the 20 places you go each week, be it work, be it school, be it restaurants, those kind of things. So we're very blessed to be close to all of those.
So I did see you have some trails. I saw a couple little ponds or lakes back there. So
right. So trails, Urban Land did a study probably about a decade ago that showed it didn't matter the demographic, didn't matter if there were young families, old. Trails were the most they were number one, and it wasn't even it was a debate on number 2. Number 2 was probably 7 or 8 different items. And so obviously putting trails in is important to any development today. Ours are a little bit different. We went 10 feet wide. We wanted that if mom or grandma's pushing a stroller and somebody's coming at her on a bike, that it's not, a game of chicken going on. Yeah. 10 feet is a large trail. When you walk on them, you feel like you're walking down a road, which is really, really nice. We'll have a section of trails that'll also be lit. So as we get into kind of those, later months of the year where, this time of year, it's great. You could probably walk until 9 o'clock. Yeah. But as we get to the later time, when sun starts going down at 7 o'clock, it's nice that when someone gets home from work, the kids and everyone can go for a bike ride on the trails. And they weave throughout the entire community. There's really not a home site in Oakmont that isn't a short distance from them. And they all kind of centralize back to the amenity center, which is in the center of the community.
And the starting price is around 300,000, 400,000, somewhere in there.
Yeah, our target market in general is probably somewhere between 300 and 350.
Okay.
Almost, I would say about 85% of the homes are delivered in that range.
Okay.
And then you've got some, you get some higher, you've got some low 400s, those kind of things as the lots get bigger, the homes get bigger. We also have a townhome product that kind of is in that 250 to 300 range. So we're trying to offer a wide range of options. Through the first phase, I would say about 70% of our buyers have been South College Station relocations, as much as a relocation could be moving 10 minutes away. And then the rest have been, we've had a ton of young families move in. It's probably because of the amenities are coming. We're building an amenity center we call the Porch. It looks like an old historic building that it really replicates downtown Bryan and a lot of elements of the brick and the look and feel. We wanted Oakmont to feel historic almost. That when someone drives in here, it doesn't feel like, oh, this subdivision was built in 1986. That it's timeless. That goes both to the older buyers and the younger buyers. And so the amenity center will have kind of that historic feel to it. It's got a workout facility. It's got 2 pools, one catered to the younger clientele and one catered to older children and adults.
Mm-hmm.
It backs up to a 6.5 acre park. We have 10 acres of park, and they're not rugged, knee-high grass parks. They're meant to be areas where kids can get out and play, and there may be a pickup game of soccer going on, and and then we'll have a very rustic-looking playground there that challenges the kids, and isn't just a playscape. It's got some fun to it, but is obviously very safe. So anyone in the family feels like they could use it. Also at the amenity center, we'll have when we were designing an amenity center, we worked with the architect to kind of cater to 2 groups. Amenity centers tend to be used as you need to cater to like 0 to 8 years old. So the young kids, they're going to be, the wading pool, the splash pool, those kind of things. And then adults either using it alone or in groups. So the kids are somewhat easier because I think we all have a good feel for what entertains them. Adults hanging out with other adults is a little bit more difficult. So we put a cafe in, a place that someone can grab a cup of coffee in the morning, maybe a sandwich at lunch, or snacks for the kids before you go pick them up from school. And also would service, food to the pool and those kind of things, just kind of grab and go kind of little things. And then we've got about a 3,000 square foot flexible space that could, host anything from a Bible study all the way to community meetings, really anything that the members of the community, use it for. Our POA will also be headquartered out of there, so they have kind of a day-to-day face contact with the Property Owners Association, and then of course the workout facility as well.
That's coming. That's not there now, correct?
So we announced our construction. Actually, the announcement went out to our property owners yesterday.
Okay.
We'll be mobilizing about probably about a week and a half. They'll see ground moving on those 10 acres. Construction time frame, our hope would be to deliver it inside of a year. We really hope that we can get a swimming season in next year.
Right. And what's the best way to keep up with you guys? Keep up with the contacts and activities out there?
Yeah, there's really 2 ways. I mean, oakmontliving.com is our website. We're currently updating it to bring phase 2 online and announce the amenity center and get those pieces up online for people to kind of, when they drive in the community, see a 7,000 square foot building going up, what is in there? I know there'll be a lot of curiosity there. The other thing is, we have 10 builders in the community. They're all local builders. All their websites are really, really fantastic. I would encourage you to visit them all. And we have 4 models here as well. The builders are open 7 days a week, and they're a great wealth of information. And they, and they're really helpful in guiding us forward. We feel like we ended up with a great group of builders. They're all local. That was a directive from above, and I think it's really worked out well for us. Even though a lot of regional players and national players have expressed interest and have tried to get in, when they come and they're like, we'll buy half the lots. It's tough, but we love the locals sell homes a lot better. They understand the community. They understand and can answer questions at a different level than, some regional player that's just bringing in someone from Houston.
Good. Hey, well, I appreciate it. I think you guys are doing a great job out there. Again, I encourage everybody to drive out there, see what they're doing, see the model homes. It's going to be one of the premier subdivisions in this area, and it's people need to get out there and learn about it. I was telling Andrew before we started, my wife didn't even know about it, and she knows a lot. So, hey, thank you. Let's just talk real quick about real estate for 30 seconds. And I want to talk about HOAs, or as I learned today, POAs, it can be. When I'm trying to sell people or bring people to different subdivisions, one of the first questions I ask them is if they want to live in an HOA or not. And it's a quick answer. It's either absolutely or absolutely not. People have a lot of misconceptions about HOAs. They think they're very expensive. They're not. They're hundreds of dollars a year. I know Pebble Creek, Castlegate's like $300, and it can get up to maybe $1,000 a year. And for some reason, people think they're thousands of dollars to live in an HOA, and they're just not. But for that, they take care of the maintenance and the front entrances and the flowers and the fountains. I mean, there's a ton of things they do with that money. And secondly, they protect your investment. Your neighbor can't go painting a house pink next to you and putting in a mobile home in their front yard and things like that, and they can't park it. I mean, they protect your investment. So for a couple $100 a year, I think HOAs are a great thing. Now, if you want your privacy and you want to burn trash on your property, you don't want to be in an HOA. So, and that's fine too. But again, I think there's a lot of miscommunication about HOAs out there, and they're typically a really good thing. So, hey, thank you, Andrew. Good luck out there. You got a great thing going, and I hope we can encourage everybody to get out there and sell some of those lots.
Yeah, we're always here to help. Anything we can do.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you.